あ、今日このマイクは配信用専用なので皆さんラウドボイスでお願いします。This mic is only for streaming. So no, please loud voice. Let's begin. というわけで、はい、始めましょう。Welcome to KyotoJS21 ということでお願いします。ありがとうございます。はい、今日は、DeepL によって英語になってます。はい、で、KyotoJS は、京都の JavaScript コミュニティです。これいつものやつなんですけど、Web フロントエンドから Node.js、WASM、CSS デザイン、WebGL、セキュリティまで何でも気軽に語り合いましょう。KyotoJS is a JavaScript community in Kyoto. Feel free to discuss about anything relation to Web or JavaScript. で、はい、参加者の皆さん、これいつものやつですけど、ハラスメントとか、No racism, no harassment で、あと Don't behave to make them uncomfortable ってお願いします。はい。他の人を不快にさせるようなことないようにお願いします。はい。で、ポストするときは、ハッシュタグの京都 JS つけてください。お願いします。で、今日のタイムテーブルです。で、今オープニングしてて、この後乾杯します。で、この後、マテオさんがリアクトネイティブについて話してくれます。で、その後、トランスフォームトゥパーティースタイル with 寿司になりまして寿司パーティースタイルで、LT と、あと飛び入りあれば、サドン LT あればお願いします。はい。で、とりあえず、Welcome to マテオさんfrom RomaJS イタリアWelcome で、リアクトネイティブと、イタリアの JavaScript コミュニティについてこの後話していただきます。で、はい、He will talk about React Native and JS Community in Italy で、一応皆さんトークは英語でやってもらうんですけど一応、Q&A やりたいときにめちゃめちゃ難しいことを聞きたくなったりとかしたときに一応、今日ヘルプフィールのベンが来てくれてて、彼が、一応トランスレートのサポートをやってくれるので、皆さんまず一旦は自分で頑張ってもらって、もしダメだったときはヘルプしてもらってください。はい。で、今日ベニュースポンサーが、株式会社ヘルプフィールです。はい、ありがとうございます。メッセージですけど、はい、please follow help feel tech on X でお願いします。はい。で、はい、Let's have fun together。で、NEXT 京都 JS なんですけど、大体次6月か7月ぐらいにやろうと思ってるんで、皆さんカレンダーをチェックしておいてください。僕もサッカーチームの京都サンガのカレンダーをチェックしようと思います。はい、というわけで、でオープニング終わって、じゃあ乾杯しましょう。乾杯しましょう。オープニング乾杯を。はい、オープニング乾杯をやりたい。持ちましたまだやってるはい。はい。まだやってる。はい。なんかあるかな。ないな。じゃあこれ出しときますベニュースポンサー。これ出してと言われたので。カメラの調整をはい。じゃあ乾杯しましょう。はい、じゃあ乾杯はーい。はい、じゃあ今日のトーク、じゃあPlease welcome マテオさん。拍手お願いします
decided to have a single meeting about JavaScript. Query for client-side rendering and business logic has been moved to front end.
Please use it.
Okay, change. Hi.
Thank you.
Does anyone here know Backbone or Marionette? A couple, yes. We are holding, probably. And okay, so we made a branch of the PHP user group into a new one, and in the 2013, in July, we decided to meet in a house garden, speaking about Jasmine and JavaScript testing. So now we have a lot of tool about client ecosystem testing, bundling. But 10 years ago, it was everything. It was new, and the first bundling mode was RequireJS. I don't know if anyone. But this was our first meetup. I was very young. But we had good time, so we decided to make another appointment in September. And we were few people, yes. But we wanted to learn about JavaScript to each other. So we organized a new meetup and then a new one. And we probably did it for ourselves. We wanted to learn something more. But we did it together. So this is my first talk at RomaJS. It was about AngularJS, the very ancient version. It was the first version released before TypeScript and everything else. It was a very cool library for the next 6 months. Then it was replaced. But I remember the anxiety of the talk, but also the safety of the environment, because a meetup, is a place where you can speak of technology to other passionate people, and it's very comfortable. Like I don't know. It's my first time in Japan. I feel very okay, daijobu, to be here. So, but the time of the single talk was not enough for us, that we want to stay more time with other people, to share experiences and passion. So, how to increase the networking? Easy. Just put nerds around food and the trick is down. So we decided to, yes, but the photography is very mess, but my sandwich was getting cold. So, and it's not a very Italian food, I know. But it was the restaurant near the location after the meetup. So we decided to keep this format. So a tech talk at start, 1 or 2 talks based on how much time we have. And the community dinner was probably the most powerful choice we did a long time ago. And for the next years, I organized the meetup once a month, every month, except August. And people came, people left. But after 10 years, we still have a monthly meetup with a tech talk and the community dinner. So at the end, we are a group of friends who enjoy sharing experiences and knowledge while spending time together. And this is the main aim of the community, like we intend them. So what we have learned so far that can be useful to share with you. We are social animals, we call it. Okay, people like to stay together, everyone, and so that in 10 years we could not have the tech talks every month. 80% probably, but sometimes we missed it. But the most important thing in the meetup is the networking. So the beers, the dinner, the some moments to stay together. And another one is online is cool. Hello from, I don't know where is the camera. I don't. There. Hello. It's cool, but in presence is better. Of course, during the pandemic situation, we had to stop our meetups. We skipped 1 month, and then we were back in streaming. It was a way to stay all together, to provide the meetup for our audience every month, but the networking was missing. Of course, we tried with some chat room or some Google Meet after the meetup, but of course we were at home during the dinner. It's not the same. So what I've learned is that the people must be in the same building, in the same room, and chat together. People need habits. We decided to have the meetup the third Wednesday of each month. So the people know when the meetup will occur. And people know if they can go to the theater that Wednesday or there is a meetup. So this helps a lot to have a retention of the people and let them organize their life. And every single dev has something to tell. We are the IT field is very wide, and there are a lot of kind of different developers, like different levels, the junior, the senior. But what I've learned is everyone has something to tell about this job. It can be an experience, can be a library, can be, I don't know, and a difficulty he found along this work. We try to invite new people every day, every month. Also, as the first time speaker, we try to help them to prepare the slides or the topic, of course. But it's like a mission we have to grow up new developers and new speakers, not because it's cool to be a speaker, but it helps the person in his career path and to know how what are their skills, okay? And focus on time quality over quantity. We are not a very huge community. For our point of view, we don't want to be a meetup of 200 people, attendees. Even if we are in Rome, like it's probably one of the second biggest city in Italy. So probably we have a lot of developers and we have a lot of companies with developers. But we want a community of 40 people who want to grow together. I don't want people who come just to see a talk, and but people who want to participate in the community. So these are our what I focus on. And from our side, Meetup is always open for everyone. But it's our duty to keep it a safe place where everyone can explain and can tell something and want to be comfortable for everyone, from the junior developer to the senior, and for every kind of differences you can imagine there should be should go to the zero and stay together. So this is what I wanted to do about my community, and we can start with the tech talk now. So let's talk about React Native. This is one of the tools I love to have in my tool chain as a software engineer. Does anyone already use it? Sometimes, okay. Who goes the quote? The quote, anyone know the quote in less than 12 parsecs? It's very hard. Yeah. Hi, hi, hi. It is Star Wars. It was the Castle Run for the Millennium Falcon. Okay, it was nerdy quote. Let's go ahead. So as I said, I'm a software engineer and focused on web technologies. But it happened sometimes that clients ask for a mobile application. So instead of a mobile website or nowadays the progressive web application. So what can I do to provide a high quality application, a high quality product to with my knowledge? So I tried in the last 10 years a lot of products. The first time I tried PhoneGap. I don't know if anyone knows PhoneGap, and it was a web view inside in an application with a single web view and a small website inside. But in the 2012 more or less, the devices were not so powerful like today, and Safari in particular, it has a lot of limitations for the web views inside the mobile application. So it was a very slow application. It was an option, but I didn't feel okay with it. So I was looking for another solution, probably in JavaScript. I don't know C#, I don't know, I'm not familiar with the development of mobile applications, so I'm very expert on JavaScript. What I can find, I found Titanium. Oh, probably someone more know Titanium. Okay, it has a very cool payoff, which was write in JavaScript, run native everywhere. This is my experience. So it didn't work. So it is a lot of time ago, of course. Now I don't know now Titanium how it works, but it was like a transpire from JavaScript to native languages. Okay, we need another solution, but okay, I love React. How many of you use React nowadays? Okay, well, I must ask for another question from my community. How many use Angular? Okay, 0. Okay, I'm fine. Vue.js is more okay. Okay. Well, in Italy we have a very a fight between React guys and Angular guys. So I'm very happy to have you today. So I love React. I hope you too. And so the solution is, from my side, React Native. And the payoff is similar to the Titanium, but a little bit different. So it's learn once, write anywhere. So, okay, I'm comfortable. Yeah. So it was like I'm comfortable with React. Let me try this kind of technology. So what is React Native? This is an application of with React Native. So if you all use React, probably you can everyone here can read this application. It's very simple. It's a component with the props. It's not TypeScript, it was faster. An application with a component, invocation, and something else. So if you can read this, you can write your own mobile application. How it works? You know, JavaScript, React works with JSX, which is transpiled in the JS plain version. React create elements for, you know, and then when executed in the client side, the React engine creates the virtual DOM, which is an object of all components, instances of your application. And then the React DOM engine, when you use React DOM mount. It's changed in the last version, but it's the same. The object tree of the components is applied to the DOM. In React Native, it's pretty the same. We have the JSX. Note the different component, but it's the same. It's JSX compiled to the version. The React engine creates the virtual DOM, the object trees of components instances. Then we use another engine to apply the tree of components to the native stuff. So, yes, a brief history. It was born in summer 2013, like an internal project during an hackathon at Facebook. And in 2015, there was a public demo of React Native. It was very cool because it was along the React.js conf, and it was a 3D viewer written in React Native. And in March, the first version was released open source. It was only for iOS. In October, they released the version for also for Android. In the 2018, React Native is the second project on GitHub by number of contributors along the year. And nowadays is one of the most used technology behind mobile applications used by worldwide companies. In the website, they showcase with some names like Meta, of course, because it's written by Meta, by Amazon, by Shopify, by Wix, and a lot of other companies, PlayStation, Tesla, Discord. I cannot check it at some time. Okay, Klarna is Italian. Okay, you know. Oh, and Microsoft. It's very cool. The contribution of Microsoft inside this technology. I invite you to go to the React Native .dev showcase, because the main company have a learn more link to a blog or blog post or something like how they use the React Native inside their applications. So it can be very useful. So how it works? I have my code. It is bundled by the bundling, and it is executed at runtime inside my mobile phone using a JavaScript runtime inside the application. It's called. It was JavaScript core, but nowadays they use Hermes. Hermes is a runtime JavaScript written by Meta specifically for React Native. So the JavaScript code is executed, and the virtual DOM and the object trees and the API calls are sent to a native runtime. The native runtime will render the native views inside the application. So what the user see is a native components. What the developer write is React code in JavaScript or TypeScript, what else. So it's important to know that in JavaScript we use the text component or the image component, but it is converted in two different native components based on the platform we are on. So in Android, for example, there is image view, and in iOS is UI image view that are specifically for the platform. But this is an abstract layer over this kind. So I don't care what will be the platform. I will use my image. I will give my style, and the runtime below will make the magic. So business logic in JavaScript means same code base across multiple platforms. So we can have the same libraries we use on an Android or on iOS, but also on the web. because if I have my package with API calls or configurations or my functions with logic inside, business logic, I can use on the web, I can import and use them on the mobile side. And also the same tools we are already experts in. So I don't know, I just put some logos, but testing, we can use all the knowledge we have in testing front end for the mobile application. So how we can start? We need Node.js, of course. Then we need Ruby and Podman for iOS. We need JDK for Android. We need a mobile device or simulator. We need Xcode or Android Studio, and some commands in our terminal. And of course, the mobile environment is not so familiar with us, and we are not so familiar with it. And it's not so easy, especially for the iOS part. I don't know if how many people have argued with Xcode, and I don't recommend it, but we are developing mobile applications, so probably we need to argue with it. So this is the project folder, and I'm going to share my screen now. The folder of React Native application is like probably a common front-end application in React. So we have a package.json with the dependencies. We have a source directory with our code. And then we have two directories that are Android and iOS. They are the Android Studio project and Xcode project folder. So they are the native version of our application. So before I go ahead, I try to I'm trying. I can do it. I'm no. Okay. I don't know. Okay. So probably I need to. And this is the iOS Android, the iOS folder, and this is the Android folder. Okay. I don't know if anyone here know how it works on Android on iOS for the native stuffs, but this is the folder. This is our application in React Native. Okay, just JSX, and here we have the project inside the Xcode. It's a little bit small, but I don't know if I can. Okay, using your imagination, because I don't know how to zoom inside the Xcode. Sorry, and this is the project, the native project. So we have all information about the version, the bundle identifier for the store. We have the info plist, which is all the metadata inside for our mobile application. And this is zooming. Yes, I can zoom it. And this is the main app delegate, which is the main file inside an iOS application. This is a native code which import React Native and the initial props of our components, and where is the bundle and something like this. You don't need to know what it's doing right now, but this is important to know, because if you need to change something in the native part, you need to interact with it. So this is the iOS version, and this is the Android version, which is in Kotlin right now, but it's pretty the same. So this code is the native code. We are not in a mobile meetup, so I will go ahead. But if I can build the native project, it's already cached because it's take 20 minutes. Yes, of course, I forgot. Yes, yes, I know. Whoops. built the mobile application using the native language. And here is the packager, the bundler of my JavaScript code to let the changes arrive in the mobile application at fast refresh. So this is my application right now. And of course I can build also the Android. I will do it later because I'm very late. I talk too much, sorry. So what React Native offers from native, it offers more or less 3 fundamental components like view, text, and image. We don't have span and divs. We have a text. We have a view. So we need to import a view and use them to represent any kind of rectangular container. So then we have text, which is the only one component we can use to put our text, and image to display an image. With those 3 components, we can build mostly everything. So this is how you can use them. Yeah, I'm not here to show you the documentation because you can do it alone. I want to focus on something else. What about styles? Okay, we have it's React, but it's native. How it works? We don't have CSS. Luckily or unluckily, I don't know. The UI components are defined through JavaScript objects passed like in this case like an object to the style props. So they used a transformer that we can use the CSS rules, not in camel case notation, but in camel case notation and not with hyphens. And the native libraries, the native runtime converts them into the specific platform rules for the styling. So background, color, I don't know in iOS how it works, but the result is the same on both platforms. There is a way to group up classes in styling in classes. It's inside. I go very quickly in this part. And there is also a way to pass an array of styles, sorry, and to override the styling. So if you use CSS in JS, like in style components, there are some libraries expanded to React Native, so you can use what you are familiar in also in React Native. For example, importing style component React Native, importing styled. If I don't know if you use style components, you know this syntax. And of course, this is the final output of using style component. I go a little bit faster. Developer experience. So React Native offers a lot of debugging tools inside the out of the box, inside the core, to speed up the development. Some of them can be used from this menu inside the mobile application in development mode. Yes, on the physical device you need to shake it. And the most funny thing is that not every times it works. So you can find myself with the iPad shaking like a tree. Or in the simulator it's a little bit easier because it's Command D. This is the menu. In Android there is another shortcut or a DB shell input for connected devices. Of course, we have a fast refresh. So, if you remember the flow of data inside the React Native application, the bundle is injected at runtime. So, we can the bundling is able to change a part of our code that has changed and push the changes to the mobile application. So if I'm here, I don't need to refresh my application, which is a very pain because imagine you are inside the login page after login in a specific section, but I don't know what I'm doing. I can change something. Okay, this is changed. And when I save, the components itself is updated, and I can see the changes at runtime. It's very, very fast. Every warning or errors is reported inside the application, also in the terminal, and of course in the development mode. When I build for production, the errors just crashed the application. There is an inside the inspector, like we are in the browser, so I can tap on the device to understand what kind of element I'm looking. And there is also the developer tools connected to the Chrome, so you can inspect the runtime and to see the logs and to put breakpoints inside your code. So it's all the I missed the experience we have debugging in client side, in browsers, we have in React Native. And we have also some external tool like dev tools to see the entire React object trees of components. I got a little bit away. Okay. Okay, but probably it's easy to see how can we use React for an application, but what about the native environments? I'm not familiar with it. Yes, and in fact, this is the guy. He's always there. Expo helps us to develop a fastly application. You need to separate two branches of Expo, because on the net it's very confused, but there is Expo SDK. Expo SDK is an open source framework built over React Native. So it's also for web application, but we will talk about it later. It offers a number of components already tested and linked all together. And it also offers a way to develop a React Native application without the native code, without the native environment, without Xcode signing, Android, and compilation, and so through ExpoGo. ExpoGo is a mobile application you can download from the store. And if you remember this flow, so your code, runtime, and native view. So this part of the diagram is built from the native tools. So when I run build inside Xcode, it builds this part. Okay. ExpoGo is a pre-built application. So you just need to write your code in JavaScript and push them inside the ExpoGo application. Of course, the number of native libraries is limited inside the code, the application. So if you need to write something in native code, you need to go back to the classic mode. But until you have that kind of needs, you just need you can just go with ExpoGo. In fact, if you need something native, probably you are familiar with this and native tools. So it's very, very quickly, because you just need Node.js. So you can install Expo SDK, Expo mobile application in your device, or using a simulator, and create Expo app with a single template, npm start, and you are running your first application in React Native without any tool. So I've already changed it. My Expo app, npm start. This is the QR code you can scan with the application, of course, in the same network of your app. And you just need a single press, and is building an application. I don't need it to build anything in native. And this is the application is running it's this kind of application. Hello. Save. It is already, and it of course in the same is for Android. So we have the same application running with a fast refresh, and I don't have to build anything. So there is a single app.json inside the project folder of Expo, where I can set up the metadata, the info plist we saw in the native code. I can use this one, and during the build, during the process that we will see, Expo will use this kind of information to make the applications. So a lot of modules are already available for Expo SDK. So it is like a npm install Expo clipboard, and I have access to the clipboard of the mobile through the API it expose. And the other branch of Expo is Expo Application Services, which is the commercial product of Expo. So they offer the possibility to execute native builds, submissions, and other functionality in the cloud. So you can avoid to use your own Xcode native environment, and they can manage all the flow from your code to the stores. Of course, pros and cons. It's easy to use Expo. It has a lot of development already tested the modules and so a lot. The cons, of course, is the cloud build system. So it depends on your company business if you are able to push your code online. And JavaScript code is hosted in their cloud. Is of course protected on your own account, but to let devices to receive new updates, they need to push your code in cloud. And there is a risk of vendor lock-in. So you can use Expo and then move out to the native projects in any moment, but you need to pay attention to the risk of vendor lock-in, which is a cost later. So use Expo. I'm not saying that don't use it, because there is a risk, but it's very small if you know what are you doing. And the bonus is the snack of Expo is a web app. So you can connect there, and you have an entire editor with a native React Native application. You can write it and use the scan with the Expo Go, so you don't need neither Node.js in your computer. You can you have an idea, you can write your application, I don't know, from the smartphone, but we are from tablet, from a train, without downloading anything, neither npm install. So it's very cool. So how much time we have? I see. I'm late. Yes, I'm late. Okay. Testing, but I will go very quickly, because there are some hard topics. What about testing? Component testing. We are writing React components, so we have testing library with adapter for React Native, so we can test our components like we already do. And what about end-to-end testing? End-to-end testing is a little bit tricky, because it's directly inside the application. So it's a branch of development more close to the mobile application, mobile development than the front-end development. There is Detox, which is a framework from Wix to integrate, to interact with the application. The syntax is a little bit different, but I think you can understand. And this is the very cool GIF from Detox, because it's running the test inside the application. It's like any other end-to-end testing, but inside the application. So another one I want to show you is Maestro. Is a new framework end-to-end for mobile application. It was released last year, and it came with zero-conf start. You just need to write a flow YAML flow file in YAML, and those are the instructions. Assert take a screenshot, tap on this. So these few lines are enough to open the mobile application and test how the user interact with the application. So give it a chance. And there is also a Maestro Studio which is connected with the mobile device, and you can tap on the device and it records the item I tapped. So it's very powerful. Quickly, React Native does not mean web experience. Be careful about it, because we are used to don't think about a lot of things when we write in the browser, like touchables. So in the browser, you have anchor, you have buttons. In the native, we don't. So we have a touchable which needs to intercept the tap on a component, and you need to think about what kind of feedback you want. So probably when we use a single link inside the browser, it is easy. It's a link, it's a colored, sometimes it's underlined, and without any style, external style, it have its own style for the user, and the user experience is known by the user. In native, you need to specify everything, and you just wrap a component, and you need to be careful because the user is not a mouse, is a finger. So you need to be careful about the dimensions of the touchable area, and sometimes we don't think about it. And scrollables, this is a classic pain point on mobile from who came from the website. So nothing is scrollable by native. So this is the form, and in a smaller smartphone, the submit is not visible, and if I don't think about it, the user cannot scroll down and press the submit. Okay, so be careful. And of course, we have the scroll view. It's a native component to allow the user to scroll, but it's not out of the box. You need to think about it. And the same is the keyboard. This is a very pain point because we are happy to click on the input, the keyboard came up, and all this the website is moved. Yes, but in mobile it's not so. So you click it, and the user cannot press submit. So, yes, exactly. Of course, there is a component that helps us, which is cabling avoiding view. But you need to know it, and you need to think about it. So probably in websites, I will not think about how much the keyboard is height, because it's managed by the browser. Finally, the navigation. In the browsers, the users are used to click on something and see the page loading, or not see the page loading, but we have the spinner inside the browser, and wait, and the next screen appears like a flash inside the browser. But in the mobile application, they are not used to have that kind of experience. There are a lot of transitions. There are a lot of loading stuffs, because the user must know if something is happening. So you need to think about it, and React Navigation is the most used module for navigation management. And it came with different kind of navigation. So we have the stack navigation, which is from right to left, and another one is a tab bar with the icon below. That kind of navigation the user are used to use it. So it's a little bit different. It's not only the menu and the back button from the browsers. And of course, you are able to use deep linking with a mobile application. Why I need a mobile application? Because I can deep link some URL to a specific page inside the web application. There is no URL inside the mobile application, of course. There is no path. But there are, with the deep link is a configuration to allow your smartphone to open a specific page of the application clicking on the link. For example, WhatsApp / the number, it opens the application to the specific number. So some code you can use to test it. And the last powerful feature of React Native is over-the-air updates. So if you still remember this diagram, this part of code is executed at runtime. So at runtime, I can change my code without building a new application and without submitting a new application to the store if I can put the code in cloud, right? So there are tools like Expo Updates or Microsoft Code Push that can replace our bundle inside the application at runtime and totally replacing the application without passing the store application process. And you can manage that at the start of the application, check it, and restart if a new bundle is received. And technically, if the native components are the same of the previous build, you can push another project, another application totally to the users. So we will discuss with the beers about this, but it's very useful for bug fixing and hot patches. Don't change the entire application using this way, because the stores probably will ban you. And we can close with the custom native application API and components. So React Native and the community around it have a lot of libraries and components exposed and published, but sometimes you need to write. You need something more native that are not in the modules published. Okay, so you can write yourself your own components or API bridge with the native. So this is Objective-C code. It's one of the ugliest code I ever seen. I don't like Objective-C, but the main topic is you can create just two files, export using these decorators, and export a module, my custom alert. This is a log, a native log. Okay, I'm using the native log, and it's the same for the Java part. So I create a new module extending of course the native modules, get name, and this is my custom alert implementation in Java. And this is just an example, but when I build the native application, I can access to my alert module from native modules and use my own native implementation of the function. So I will call it, and on Java, on Android, I will see the log in the native logs, and iOS is the same. And of course, you can use it for everything you know. You need to access at low level of code. And the same is for components. I have no time to show you, but there's a good, easy documentation to create your own views, image or maps or PDF reader in the native part and expose them to the JavaScript part. So you are able to do almost everything. What's next? The new architecture, probably we will see it on the documentation, is a new, it's a change. They are, okay, sorry. In the React Native module, core module, they are looking for a way to isolate the core functionalities to communicate from JavaScript to the native. and they are stripping out everything else. So every module is outside the core, and they are working to the new architecture because actually currently the communication is async with a bridge from native and JavaScript, but with Hermes, that is written by Meta, they are able to map the functions to the specific functions in the native synchronously. So this will allow to have a more higher performance on interoperability between platforms. And check out what's about more platforms. So we saw Android and iOS, which are the two platforms enabled by React Native by default. But there are projects to write React Native for other platforms, like Mac OS, like Windows, like tvOS, like web. And this is the last one, Vision OS for the yes, like web. I will not touch this point now. Vision OS is the last one. It's for the Apple Visions, Visions, and the new one. So it is the meaning of the payoff. Learn once, write anywhere. So if you want to make an application for the TV, Android and Mac, you can use React Native and its own libraries, but the syntax is the same. So, okay, I hope I give you an overview of the technology, and arigatou gozaimasu.
Do you have any questions? 質問あると日本語でも
日本
もし使えたら
we can pass it.
yeah, no problem.
So I'll take it from you to translate, and then I'll give it back to you. Okay.
いける？OK. If I have missed something, I apologize. Do you have any particular problems with React Native development? If you are having problems, I would be glad to hear about them.
Okay, thank you for the question. The main problems I had in my time with the React Native were about the native part. So before Expo, I'm using the React Native technology since the start. I was using the beta when it was public. So the native part was the most difficult part of the development, because you need to know everything about mobile development. Nowadays with Expo, the last application we brought in my company, it was only on Expo, and we just wrote React code, and everything else was managed by the Expo layer. And also the update of the framework to the last Android API was managed by the framework itself. So we just changed the Expo version from 45 to 46, and everything was worked. When you have native code, it's a little bit different. And the most painful is I changed my laptop. I need to reinstall Xcode and a specific version of Ruby and a specific version of Postman and a specific version of something else, because yesterday it wasn't building the application on Xcode.
もうみんな大体分かってますよね。一度なんか翻訳必要じゃなかった。
じゃあ他質問ある人いますか？はい。
Thank you for the presentation. I have no experience in mobile development, but it seems React Native is an interesting choice for me because I like React. So my question is, speaking about the cross-platform mobile development, I hear a lot from Flutter. So how do you describe the difference between Sorry for the.
It was a classic
Yeah.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't want a war about between React Native and Flutter. So from my point of view, I'm a React developer. I have 5 years of experience in React. I don't want to learn Dart. So it is a very valid technology, Flutter. It is used in a lot of companies right now. So I think the market outside native development is cut in half between React Native and Flutter. From my point of view, if you want to focus on business, you need to choose the technology, the valid technology, but where you are more confident. So yes, it's still valid. I don't want to say it's better or from Flutter, yeah. But there are a lot of tools around JavaScript you already know, and a lot of best practice around JavaScript. So probably if you are efficient with React and you are experienced with you have experience with React, you probably go very well with React Native and very fast and reliable application can be put in production instead of learning another language. So this is and for if you had no experience in mobile application, probably the pain points I said are the main to be focused on. So touchables, scroll views, and something else. But from the Java, the code point of view, you are able to build your own application in a few minutes.
Thank you.
他に大丈夫ですか？もしあったら直接 if you have a question, please ask him directly.
I will be here until midnight. So
So we are going to sushi party mode.
and the most important, we have a lot of stickers near the video. So take them from RomaJS and some else. Okay.
Thank you.
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうマテオさん。Thank you マテオさんありがとうございます。じゃあ寿司モードに一旦じゃあ寿司モードにチェンジで。So we will change the mode. So please take a rest, and after it, we will start a lightning talk about 8:30 in JST. So after about 8 minutes.
どういう困りごとがあるからそれを解決できるとか、そこのイメージが想像しやすい。自分たちで使うソフトウェアを作ってるっていうところが多分一番大きいんじゃないかな。ユーザーの手に届いた時に喜ばれるかとか、そういうイメージがある程度つきやすいのはあるんじゃないかなと思います。しっかりリアクションをしてくれる人が多いので、そこは結構最初入っていきやすかったり、自分のキャラクター性だったりを最初に結構見せやすいハードルがある程度下がってると思う。我々のプロダクトがそもそも人を助けるプロダクトを作ろうとしてて、例えば普段の暮らしがちょっと便利になったり、仕事が便利になったり、ノウハウの共有が便利になったりとかするわけですけど、そういうことがより多くの人に、届くようになるんだったら、すごいいいことだなと思います。
皆さん、LT やります。じゃあ、はい。やる気の出た人から、Let's begin the lightning talks.
仕事してるアピールしとかないと。
LT の人に誰も配信あるって言ってなかったんですけど、配信やめてほしい人はオフラインモード搭載されてるんで、オフラインモードって言ってもらったらオフラインモードになります。
大丈夫、出してもらった方が嬉しい。
はい、オフラインオンリーモードが。ね、めちゃ伸びたね。ずっと俺の Google のやつ1、2、3、4、5めちゃ伸びた。
やっぱこの服楽ですね。認識してもらえる。ここで分かりやすいよ。わざわざ課金していく。危ない。
わかる。俺もだって京都サンガのパスタ系って書いたユニフォーム持ってる。いやもうめっちゃ
で今日あれなんだよ。CL 戦がさあってさ。
そうじゃん。
そうでインテルとカトリックマドリーがそう5時からでそれ終わった後に神戸に行かれたかもしれない。あれ俺やんね。ちょっとあれ。
ちゃんとしっかり踏みました。
昨日シャワーあれ上会議でしたけどさ、この辺触れていいですかって言ったらさ、ちょっと最後出してくれてマジスキルも触っちゃう。
はい、じゃあやります。はい。はい。じゃあやります。1年間守ってきた厳格なコーディングルールというタイトルで、マネーフォワードの田中が発表させていただきます。はい、最初に経歴を軽く言いますと、会計プラスっていう経理部向けの会計ソフトを作っているエンジニアで、2021年3月に入社して、最初は Ruby 頑張る感じでしたけど、去年の1月かなから、フロントエンド頑張れって言われてやり始めたっていう感じです。はい。で、今回紹介するコーディングルールを適用したプロジェクトの概要なんですけど、もともと Rails で作られてたプロジェクトの、フルリプレイスです。もともとのRails のアプリの中には jQuery とかコーヒーとかリアクトとかもう入り乱れてカオス状況あるあるなんですかね。はい。あるあるですね。はい。これをもう全部捨てて新たに Next.js で一からやりましょうっていうプロジェクトを、去年の1月からやり始めて、1年かかりましたね。1画面はい、1年かけて1画面のベータリリースやりましたと。この
Rails プロジェクト十何年ものの Rails を公開してるので、多分結構大変だと思います。
はい、もうガン無視して1から作ってます。はい、でここからルール紹介になります。まず1つ目、インターナルコンポーネントをなるべくエクスポートしないっていうルールでやってまして、どういうことかというと、 例えばこう SAM っていうコンポーネントがあって、その SAM っていうコンポーネントでしか使わないインターナルコンポーネントは別ファイルに切り出すんじゃなくて、この同じファイルの中で定義しましょうっていうふうにしてます。でこうすると、エクスポートしてしまうと技術的にどこからでもこう使用されてしまうんで依存関係ぐちゃぐちゃになりやすいので、同じファイルになるべく配置しましょうっていうことをしています。ただこうすると、1ファイルめちゃめちゃでかくなるんで、一番ひどいファイルやとまだ1年しか経ってないのにもう1300とか1500とかいっちゃってるんで、はい、この辺はちょっと ESLint のルールを入れて解決できないかなみたいなのを今模索している段階になります。そうですね、それもありますね。次が、似たような話なんですけど、コンポーネントのプロップスをエクスポートむやみにしないという、これも理由は一緒で、解決策としては、リアクトのコンポーネントプロップスっていうやつを使って、こんな感じの図にある通りにターゲットコンポーネントのプロップスを取得できますよっていうやり方をしていて、こうすることでターゲットコンポーネントを使うとこだけでこうプロップスの型を再利用する意識が働きやすくなるかなっていうのでやっています。こうすると型パズル頑張る必要が出てきたりとか、ファイル分割したくなった時に難しいみたいなデメリットもあります。はい、次3つ目、プロップスをスプレッド構文で渡さないようにしています。これインプットプロップスっていうのがライブラリーから取得できるオブジェクトなんですけど、これを一生懸命展開して一個一個受け渡すようにしています。こうする理由としては、スプレッド構文で渡しちゃうとどのプロップス渡してんねんっていうのが分かりにくくなるので、愚直に1個ずつ書いてます。これのデメリットはコード量めっちゃ増えるのと、ひどいインプットだとこんな感じになりますという。
ひどいのさらっと言い方が
ひどいところになります。はい。これ 5分きっちり。別に。これって型がない時間とか測らないでいいんですけど、これってなんでこうしたいんですか？このインプットプロップスの型はあるんですけど、もう暗黙的に渡すことになるんで、どのプロップスをどう渡してんねんみたいなのが追いにくくなるので1個ずつ書いてるっていう感じになりますね。
これは追えないと困るんですか？それはむしろ型とかで追えるなら別にその
なるほど。
ここで結局詰めてほしい。
いやそうね、激詰めになっちゃうんであれですけど、なんか型はそのためにあるのではと思ってしまったのは正直な感想。
そういうのを
そうした理由は何かある？愚直に渡そうという話なんだ。
すいません。
これしか。はい。OK です。はい。次ですね。コンポーネントや各プロップスに JS ドックをかけましょうっていうのをやってます。JS ドックっていうのは、こんな感じで関数とか、にドキュメントをかけるマークアップ言語になります。こうすることで ID 上で関数とかそのコンポーネントの使用者が JS ドックを参照できるようになります。でメリットとしては、書き忘れ発生するんで統一できないです。で、ESLint で一応ルールはあるんですけど、制限しきれてないので、結局レビュアーが目で見て確認するみたいな感じになります。であとは JS ドック書く工数がシンプルにかかるのと、メンテコストもかかります。書くってことに関してはコパイロットさんが最近はほぼ自動で書いてくれるんで、メンテコストだけかなっていう感じです。
コパイロットでできるのはメリットそこに書いてみよう。
そうですね。はい。で最後です。トゥルーシー&使うんじゃなくて参考演算子を使いましょうっていうので、これは公式リファレンスでヌルを返すように紹介されてるんで、それに合わせましょうという感じで、メッセージがあればメッセージを表示するって書きたいときは、下の感じでメッセージがあれば こっちなければヌルみたいな書き方をしましょうというふうに決めてます。これアンド使う人が多いので、なんだレビューコストかかることがあるかなという感じです。はい。で、最後まとめになるんですけど、ルールは用法用量守ってやなっていうのを改めて思いました。で最初ゼロからプロジェクトを作るゼロから作るって感じだったんで、最初は厳しすぎるかなぐらいでちょうどいいと思うんですけど、厳しすぎるルールを維持し続けると開発効率それは落ちるので、ここからは緩くしたり、ほんまにこのルール必要なのみたいなのを議論していくフェーズかなっていうふうに思っています。はい、以上です。ありがとうございました。これ不要なら不要でありがたいんで、ちょっと教えてもらえると助かりますね。
そうです。じゃあこれを機に
次の人。
流れがある。
じゃあスタックしていただかないとファーストインファーストアウトで決まっちゃうから。予約してたんですか？
いや、適当です。強い人が
今この瞬間に鳥がもう決まろうとしている。
マイクは？スクラップボックスいつも使わせていただいております。じゃあちょっと待ってください。Yeah, I'm gonna start the lightning talk. こんにちは。My name is Rikito. I'm currently working as a Scala compiler engineer at a company in Poland / university in Switzerland. I'm currently based in Tokyo, but I previously lived in Kyoto like 8 years, and I'm planning to going back to Osaka this May. So nice to see you, IT community in Kyoto. Yeah. My hobby is mostly about the climbing and gaming, like Apex or MTG things. And anyway, so today I'm gonna talk about the Scala and JS and WASM because but why Scala compiler engineer is in JS community? Because Scala compiles to JavaScript, and also what I want to talk about is the Scala will compile to WASM. So this is the takeaway from my talk, actually. It's still actually a really prototype, so most of the things doesn't work, but it's happening anyway. So, but why it is happening now, like in 2024? Because C and C++ and Rust already compiled to WASM, and finally in Scala, because this is because WASM-ZC is finally matured and enabled by default on browsers in late 2023. Like for example, Chrome. It's December or something. Chrome has enabled WASM-ZC by default. So I think it's the right time to working on WASM-ZC support from Scala. So, but what is the WASM-ZC? WASM-ZC is a proposal to adding the ZC managed data structures and instruction to WASM spec. For example, previously WASM has only I32 or I64 or integer things, but with WASM-ZC we're gonna have something like array or struct, and we have a struct.new to allocate the structure and array.new to allocate the array, and those allocated objects gonna be garbage collected by WASM runtime. So this is great. So before WASM-ZC, garbage collected languages like Java, Scala, Kotlin, OCaml has two choices. One is compile the VM to WASM. For example, KyotoJS is JVM on browser or /WASM. And so we can like Scala compile to JVM bytecode, and KyotoJ runs on WASM, so we can run the on the WASM. So it's cool. But the module size is really huge because Java VM is really huge, and interoperability between JavaScript not that good, I think. So this is a problem. another choice is compiling the ZC code into WASM. For example, in WASM there's no ZC, so we can compile the ZC code into WASM. So this is a way, like a Swift WASM and TVM, which is a Java to WASM compiler, does do that, and assembly script, which is a TypeScript superset of TypeScript, does do that. But thing is, it's not good performant, and the module is still a bit large because of the GC code. So yeah, this was the problem, and that's why garbage collected language not a best option to compiling to WebAssembly until WASM-ZC. So WASM-ZC provides instruction sets for allocation, and WASM-ZC allocated objects are garbage collected by runtime, so we don't need to zip the ZC for WASM. So, but actually there are more benefits, but there is a good blog article by Bri8, so maybe it's good to read. So anyway, so what I want to say is more languages are compiling to WASM-ZC, and for example, Kotlin has compiler for WASM-ZC, like Kotlin WASM and OCaml, and Java has a J2CL, which is developed by Google, and Dart is compiling to WASM-ZC, and I remember there's a compiler that's Scheme to WASM-ZC, and Scala is I am working on compiling to WASM-ZC. And please compile your favorite language to WASM-ZC, because WASM-ZC is kind of accepted by the WASM community, but it's still a bit of difference between WASM MVP and WASM-ZC. So please compile して応援ってことで please use the WASM-ZC languages to support WASM-ZC. So yeah, that's ありがとうございました。コンパイルして応援っていうなんかこう文脈みたいなのがうまく何々して応援食べて応援みたいなああそういうことかそういうのをうまく文脈にせられなかった。
あ、ごめんなさいすいません、ちょっとねテンプレートは使われませんでした。はい、じゃあ発表を始めていきたいと思います。タイプスクリプトの型パズルでユニオンタイプを因数分解するっていう話をしようと思います。まず軽く自己紹介です。ミッチと言います。マネーフォワードでソフトウェアエンジニアをしています。先ほど発表してくださった田中さんと同じチームで働いております。で、何をしているかっていうと、先ほども話あったんですけど、フロントエンドのリアーキテクチャのプロジェクトをやってます。比較的若いプロジェクトで、比較的コーディングのポリシーとかガイドラインが厳しいっていう話で、一つの例として、できるだけ変数をプライベートにしてほしいと、エクスポートはできるだけ避けるっていう方針があります。でもう必要な時にだけエクスポートしてくださいという話で、なぜかっていうと JavaScript では、一旦その値がエクスポートされてしまうと、グローバルに参照可能な状態になってしまう ので、それを避けるためにできるだけエクスポートは避けてくださいという話があります。なので、何か例えばコンポーネントのプロップス型だったりとか、関数のリターンする型だったりとかを使いたいときも、ユーティリティタイプスとかを使って頑張ってその型パズルをして取り出すっていうことをやっています。そんな状況でですね、私がある日こんな状況に、遭遇しました。っていうのも、タイプ A とタイプ B のユニオン型があって、そのユニオン型を返す関数があったとします。で、それを別のファイルで、この AB っていうユニオン型から A と B を個別に取り出したいって思ったことがありました。で、ユニオンタイプっていうのは、皆さんおなじみかなと思うんですけど、知ってる人大体全員もうね、2つ以上のタイプ型のいずれかを取る値っていうのを定義することができます。で、右の例だと、サクセスレスポンスとエラーレスポンスがあって、それをユニオンしてレスポンスっていう新しい型を、どちらかを取り得る型っていうことで作ることができます。で、2つの型からユニオンして新しい型を作るのは非常に簡単です。バー1本書くだけで終わります。でもこれを逆にそれぞれのものに因数分解して分けることってできると思いますか？できるだろうって思う人。Go だったらタイプスクリプトでできるって思う人はコストを、論理的に可能かっていうね。技術的には可能です。いや、はい、できます。できますね。でも黒魔術のようなこんなね、ちょっと大変なんですけど、一応できます。でこれを一つずつちょっとどういうことをやってるかを見ていきます。まずユニオン to functions っていう型関数ですかね。で、ユニオン型を受け取って、それをユニオンを引数とする関数に変換します。はい。右、これ、ディストリビューション、ユニオンディストリビューションっていう仕組みが働くことで、このユニオン to functions レスポンスってやると、引数がサクセスレスポンスの関数、または引数がエラーレスポンスの関数のユニオン型が完成します。で、2つ目がユニオン to インターセクションで、ユニオン型を交差型に変換します。で、なんかいろいろあって、このインファーしたやつが交差型になるそうです。ちょっと一言では言い表せない諸事情によってこのインファーした値がユニオンから交差型に変換されるそうです。はい。で、最後にエクストラクトパラムズで、関数の交差型をタプルに変換するという処理ができます。で、このインファーした部分が取り出せるっていう感じですね。で、この3つを組み合わせることによって、まず、元々のユニオン型を関数の引数にして、それのユニオン型にして、関数のユニオン型にして、関数のユニオン型を関数の交差型に変換して、それを、引数を取り出すことで、関数の部分の、タプルが取り出せます。そのタプルを使うと、タプルを使うことで、インデックスでスライスしたら、それぞれのサクセスレスポンス、エラーレスポンスが個別に取り出せるっていう、いや、タイプスクリプトの型パズルってすごいなと思いました。はい、以上です。ありがとうございました。
長くてその文字数やばい
ポートされてるのとあんま大して状態が変わっていないんじゃないかなと思うんですけど、なんかグローバル空間に名前が載せたねから嬉しいっていう信念をどう行われていることなんですか？
そうですね、これがぜか非かはちょっと正直エクスポートした方がいい。
こういうパターンになってるけど、もっとあるみたいなパターンの時にこのパターンで例えば取り出せるとか、なんか外からユニオンが偶然ユニオンで書いてあるのが取り出したいみたいな、そんなことあるのかみたいなんですけどまあなんか奇跡的にある時に、まあ、使いたくなることが逆にたまにあるみたいな。
それこそごめんなさい、サクセスとエラーってなんかこう同じに扱いたいもんなの？なんか別の概念型で表現して
今の話はエクスポートされてたら気にしなくていいでしょって話で。
理解しました。
そうですね。ちなみにこれ2つバージョンなんですけど、まあユニオンがもし3つ以上あっても、まあ可変でも一応なんかやり方はあるそうです。
あるんですけど、コストが爆発するのと順番を、保証できなくなるので、取り出すのは結構難しくなる。2個の場合は保証されない。2個の場合はどっちかの方ができるんだけど、3つ以上あると順番を保証するためにちょっと頑張らないといけなくなるので、逆になんていうかな、ダブルまではできるんだけど取り出すのが難しくなる。
そうなんだ。なんかその辺は改善されそうな気もするけど、
まあなんかやったらやれるでしょという気がするけど、まあ結構難しい雰囲気はしている。
そんなコードを書くなと言われたらはいはいという気もするが難しい。
はい、ありがとうございます。はい。ラストかどうかわかりませんが。
そうか。でも一応予定では。
Mac のバッテリーが下手っちゃってるので、コンセントを使って。
後ろのコンセントください。いやでもやりたくなるときあるのはめっちゃわかる。何かしらに理想ですけどね。
いやなんか欲しくなる気持ちはあるんだけど、なんか入れた瞬間に後が辛くなりそうだなって思って。
初見で見るとこの間オブジェクトでキーユニオンじゃあいいか、それを逆転させたいみたいなことがあったときに、した人がいいって言ってるなら逆転させるにはプルマルしないといけないから、プルにするためにこうやって順番を保証できるからできなかったっていう。この例までだったら使用通りなんだけど、
ついてない気配を感じますけど。接触が微妙だったっぽい。
メッセージを作りたいときに、
ちょうど微妙にずれちゃったみたいな。
ユニオンも並べてなんちゃらなんちゃらなんちゃらなんちゃらアウトなんちゃらみたいな。
今ちょっと微妙に外れてて。はいかな。
はい次。
はい。今から英語で発表するので、日本語の資料を見たい方は、私のX、KyotoJS のハッシュタグで資料をアップロードしているので、そちらも、見ていただけると、助かります。Well, actually, I'm getting nervous because I haven't speak in English in LD. This is first time. And now I'm talking about voice recognition in JavaScript. This is my self-introduction. I'm Soichiro Kato, and nickname is So. And I usually use Vue and Laravel for web application development. And did you know we can use voice input text by microphone on browsers? For example, Google Search supports voice input. So what makes it possible? The answer is speech recognition API. And one thing you have to careful is if it is first time to execute speech recognition API, browsers ask us to allow to use microphone. And basically, speech recognition API requires HTTPS except localhost. You have to deploy your application on HTTPS server if you're using a speech recognition API. And now I'm talking about the basic flow of voice recognition usage. First, we generate an instance of speech recognition, and then we invoke start method to start voice recognition. And if you wanna get input result, we need to set event handler to onResult argument. And to generate a speech recognition instance, we use speech recognition property in window object. In case you use Safari or Google, you need to use WebKit speech recognition property instead. And this is an example of initialized instance. First is getting a speech recognition property. This is or operator to get speech recognition property or WebKit speech recognition property. And next is creating instance using first variable. To start voice recognition, we invoke start method in speech recognition instance. And to get voice input result, we invoke onResult method to register an event handler to get result. And in event handler, we can get results 0 dot transcript in the event handler first argument. You can get the result as a text. And this is an example of implementation. Start method starts voice recognition, and then onResult methods invoke this event handler when the browser gets voice recognized. And in this code, transcripts has the result of voice recognition. And if you wanna specify the language, you can set lang property for speech recognition. And for example, if you wanna set voice, if you wanna specify Japanese, you can set JP for lang property. And if you don't set lang property, the value will be set lang property in HTML or browser default language. And this is an actual example. This is my web application, and this is in developing. And this application is for learning the English word. At first, looking at image and press microphone button and say the word in English. The purpose is to learn vocabulary with image. And of course, this application uses speech recognition API. And this is for English learning, but it's also possible to extend for other languages like Chinese, Japanese, or something else. And speech recognition API has some limitations. One is, unfortunately, some browsers do not support speech recognition API. For example, Firefox and Edge don't support. Not to mention the Internet Explorer neither. And also TypeScript, and if you use TypeScript, you can get a benefit from the type system. If you need a type system, you need to define by yourself or just window object as any. And this is a conclusion. This is the end. Thank you for your listening.
これで全部なんですけど、飛び入りあるよ。Who have light talks? No? Please make.
今多分少し
いる ?OK? OK?
Yeah. Next challenge.
5分で喋るトークは5分でできるはず。中田康隆が3分の曲3分で作るらしい。
無理やりすぎる。
中田康隆が3分の曲3分で作れるなら俺たち LT5 分で作れる。
まあ、そうね。できるのはないので。資料なしでトークオンリーでいくっていう手段もある。異常コードだけどね。どう考えても異常コードだけど。
あ、OK です。I can speak English so light written by English. 閉じ括弧の地獄から抜け出すという発表をします。和平です。まあ、ジェストとか、まあ、ビテストとかもいいんですけど、書いてると、まあ、なんかこういう普通のテスト書くと、まあ、こういう感じになると思うんですけど、なんかこの辺をなんか見てると、なんかすごい気持ちが狂ってきて、なんかこれどうにかなんないのかなって思って、で、まあ、これから抜け出すにはなんかどうしたらいいんだろうっていうのをなんか常々考えてたんですけど、はい、シベットっていうものをご存知の方いらっしゃいますかっていうのを、はい、シベットっていうのはプログラミングランゲージで、でこれなんか察しのいい方いるかもしれないんですけど、なんかこうシベットがなんか飲んでて、これはまあコーヒー。
コーヒースクリプトじゃん。
わかりますか？
これ平成で見たことあるの？
こうシベットはコンパイルするとまあ、JS、TS にできるんですけど、まあ、 なんか多分コーヒースクリプトにもコンパイルできるのかな。まあこれはコーヒースクリプトのようにはい、シベットはプログラミングランゲージで、まあ、コーヒースクリプトのように書ける、まあ、ここではファットアローを使ってるんですけど、もちろんコーヒースクリプトと同じように細いアローも書けますまあここではちょっとディスの罠があるのでファットアローを使ってるんですけど、まあ、こういうふうにするとコールバック書くときにすごいアドバンテージがあって、カッコがいらないんですね、コーヒースクリプトのコールバック書くのってし、気が狂うクローズブランケットもないっていうのでみんな使いましょうっていうことで、はい、これ
使ってどうやってメンテする
はい、ということで短いんですけどこういう面白いプログラミングランゲージあるっていう紹介でした。じゃあ16時間前にもされててかなりメンテされてるしLSP もあるので VS コードの拡張とかも提供されてるんで今すぐスタートすることができます。
まずコーヒースクリプトからこっちに乗り換えてでここからタイプスクリプトに乗り換えて
ニュータイプコーヒースクリプトでまあでも、まあ、コーヒースクリプトはなんかこうメンテできなくなってるので、まあ、そういう意味ではありじゃないですかね。
LSP があるだけでだいぶ進歩したのでは、
今からコーヒースクリプトに新しい項目追加するとか無理だから。
いやでもコーヒースクリプトメンテされてるんで。
マジで
されてるコーヒースクリプトバージョン2でめちゃめちゃバージョン2でAsync サポート入ったしめちゃめちゃ今もうインプリメンテーションされてる。マジ知らなかった。
そうコーヒースクリプトの Async ファンクションってAsync のワードは不要でこの処理の中に await があるとAsync ファンクションになるっていうちょっと変わったそうですそうです。
まあ、コンパイルするからねコンパイルトランスファイルするから。はい、じゃあありがとうございます。他飛び入り大丈夫？じゃあ寿司パーティーでじゃあはい。じゃあ streaming will end. Thank you for watching and thank you for coming.